The history of video games is relatively short, but it's filled with so much it's easy to forget how it all came to be. Back in the early 1980s, with the crash of the video game market, Nintendo decided to release its Nintendo Entertainment System. But rather than advertise the NES as a family computer as the Atari and other systems have done before, Nintendo advertised itself as a toy. At the time, and still to this day, the toy aisles in stores were broken up by boys and girls, and Nintendo had a choice to make. And they picked boys. What you might not be aware of is this choice changed the course of history for many young girls. Thus, despite excelling in math and science over time, and obviously with the lack of exposure to video games being labeled as a boy thing, there ended up being a major drop in female engineers and more. Video games became a boys' club, and it would take over 20 years for that to start to change. Hello and welcome to Work to Game. My name is Brian, and in today's video, we're going to do a deep dive into the world of video games with the focus on Twitch streamers. Ultimately, I hope this will be a thought-provoking video, but it does deal with the concept of a thought, T-H-O-T, which, if you're wondering, that stands for that hoe over there. It's a derogatory term used to describe female content creators that use their sexuality to make money online. Some embrace the idea, others are labeled with it as a way to discount, attack, or silence. This video makes no assumptions as to who is or isn't, but hopes to explore the world of content creation and what it truly means to be a gamer. So, let's discuss. Now, at the end of this video, I've included something for you if you're a content creator or an aspiring one, so be sure to check that out and let me know what you think, but let's go ahead and dive into the core element of this video. So what makes me uniquely qualified to tackle this issue? Well, as a man, I feel my opinion is the only one that matters, he says sarcastically. Now, I open this with a joke to try and illustrate a point. If you've been a part of the workforce, the name of this community, you've hopefully gotten to know me, and most likely you'd be aware that I actually don't believe that as a man I'm uniquely qualified in this case. And obviously that it's a joke. However, if you're new, you might be like, WTF, Brian, that's just so ridiculous. I can't trust anything you say or think. And you'd be right. The connection I'd like to illustrate here, both behind the joke and the theme of the video, is authenticity. From my experience within gaming culture, authenticity is one of the virtues that gamers hold very dear. But this is something that in an online world has become increasingly difficult to measure, and the idea of what is truth and what is real and who is or isn't authentic is at the soul of what it means to be a gamer, a streamer, or just a human being. There is also another factor at play here. No matter the content creator's size, gender, etc., you'll no doubtly see it. It's the idea of money. There is an idea to be truly authentic that money cannot be involved, and while I respect the root of that idea, I disagree with how it's applied. It's used just like the term thought. It's used to discount the individual and their message. And it's with this connection, the connection of that of a business, is that these lines will always be blurred, that authenticity will always be in question. There's really no fix for this, nor really should there be. I've always been of the mind, trust and verify. Trust first because I think it's a happier way to live. Verify because there are those who seek to take advantage. In other words, don't be naive, but don't cut yourself off from having a real connection with another person. Brian, dude, I thought this video was called Thought Police. Is this just clickbait? Great question. So I felt we really needed to dive in all the above first before we dove into one of the core issues at the streaming world. For a while now, a band of men and women have taken it upon themselves to go out and report Twitch streamers who they believe are in violation of the terms of service for Twitch. This has been able to go on largely in part due to the vagueness of Twitch's terms of service. Now, if you remember just a few months ago when Ninja moved over to Mixer, many people went and looked into Mixer's terms of service when it comes to how people should and shouldn't dress on the platform, and they try to hit him hard for being too strict. And while this made for really great content, in truth, this is actually here to help foster a better online community and a better online interaction. So back to Twitch. Okay, so you have the thought police and they go around and by their own authority determine if someone is authentic or not. This movement is there because it fills a need that people have, or it's actually there to address the perception issue that Twitch has developed over time due to its wide range of application of its own terms of service. Now remember back to the start of the video?
Yeah, we're gonna kill you, maybe.
As gaming became more and more mainstream, there have been growing pains, a perception issue that games are just for boys, and it should always be for boys. I've seen gamers argue that the reason they can't have X is because publishers are trying to cater to a female audience. Now, in my point of view, I just don't care. A publisher can do whatever they do or don't want, and the market is ultimately going to decide regardless of what feelings I have towards it. But we see the same thing being mirrored in the world of streaming too. The idea that this is our thing, so it can't be their thing. It's the idea of being a protectionist of a walled-off garden. It's rooted in love of the game and the industry, but it's also twisted in a way. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there aren't those who are trying to take advantage of the system. In any industry where the stakes are this high, and the numbers continue to grow, you're going to attract a wide range of people. I'm also not saying that wanting to preserve and protect gaming culture is wrong. To protect those from being taken advantage of, those who would try to trick young people out of their money, is wrong at all. By no stretch of the imagination is that the case. But what I am saying is that we need to be very careful of applying labels, just willy-nilly to any one group of people. Be careful of what you read about someone or something, and I'd encourage you to question the source of the information and any potential bias. We have to be careful of headline culture and using headlines as facts and arguing points rather than getting to the core source of it all. And most of all, we have to be careful of bandwagoning mobs. Because I truly believe in due time, the mob comes for us all. One day you're either with us, and maybe the next day you're the target.
Right, look, those idiots don't even know where we live.
The real point of concern I have in all this isn't someone who is or is not a thought, or even someone who is trying to protect the thing they love most. It's actually the companies themselves, Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, etc. In the end, we're the product and ultimately disposable. So to them, it doesn't matter if someone is banned or kicked from the platform, as there is an army of people waiting and willing to take their place. The level of effort it takes to grow as a live content creator is enormous. And honestly, I see it as more a mill pushing people beyond their limits and into a very dangerous mindset. All in all, I don't envy women or anyone who has the courage to hit that go live button or that record button. It takes a lot of guts and energy to do something like that. And if your first thought is that the only reason people are watching them is because they are a thought, I challenge you to challenge your own thoughts on that individual and get to know them. Or just move on. In the end, I challenge you to be the authenticity the world needs, and the rest will work itself out. But that is just one guy's opinion, and a crap one at that. As always, I'd love to know what you think in the comments below, and being that this could be a charged topic for debate, just remember to respect each other as human beings. It doesn't mean that you have to agree, but name-calling doesn't win arguments. Now, if you've made it this far into the video and you're thinking about jumping into the world of content creation, or you're already doing it and really just kind of trying to figure it out, allow me to share some tips that we've learned along the way. This is something that we look into when crafting our videos, and I hope you find this useful. Namely, it breaks down into two categories: rules to live by and content to live by. So in the rules to live by, we have essentially three rules: be first, be better, or be different. Now, if you can be all three, that's a huge win in my book. But again, be first, be better, or be different. Kind of think about that, in regards to what kind of content and who you want to be as a content creator. And then content to live by: either create searchable content, content for your community, or content for yourself. As a creator, you can try to be any of the rules to live by, and you're going to do just fine. But like I said, if you can be all three, you'll own whatever it is that you make. But when it comes to the core rules for the video or the live stream itself, pick one option for the content to live by. If you try to do more than one in and of itself, the video or content will suffer. So either make something searchable so that people can find it, make something for your community, those who have already subscribed to you and know that they'll enjoy the video, or make something for yourself and enjoy the process of crafting and delivering it to the world. In the end, there are no guarantees, and I wouldn't put my family's security on any algorithm or searchability, but it is a lot of fun to create. And that all being said, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to hit that like button and share this out with your friends. If you didn't enjoy it, be sure to hit that dislike button and leave us a comment and let us know how we can get better as content creators on the platform. But I'll leave you with that choice, and I thank you again for watching this video. I hope you had a good time. I hope that you have a great week, and we'll hopefully see you in our next video. But for Work to Game, my name is Brian, and this has been a Let's Discuss. I wish you all the best, and take care.